Hey everybody.
Hi.
We're back. I'm Tina.
And I'm Christine.
We're the ladies of the Lanai.
Yep.
And we had something special today, or a request today.
Yeah, we've had a request, and I'm sure it's on many people's thoughts if where they're thinking about coming to the villages. And the question came from
Stacey Davis.
and she wanted to know. She wanted us to do a video why we chose where we live. So, in other words, in what neighborhood, what village we chose, why we did, and also she wanted to get her head around the bond issue. So we're gonna do our best to tackle that right now.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll go first.
Sure.
I think I'm the easy. So the why I chose the village I wanted, the location I wanted, essentially, and the house type that I wanted. So I moved here the end of 2022. I knew I was retiring. I was on a time frame where I wanted to have the house bought and moved in by before the last day of December so that I start January 23 here. And at that time, Richmond was the new village. And I really wanted that location, but the way that the villages releases the new homes and the lottery system that they do, you're never sure if you're going to get the house that you want. So it's a whole my realtor Nellie and I looked at it, but it wasn't going to work for me. But that was the location that I wanted. So I chose DeLuna, which is it's nearby, but it was also one of the newer neighborhoods because I also wanted a new home. I didn't want a pre-owned home for whatever reason. I think because I never owned a home before. I grew up in a house. I lived in New York City in an apartment for 35 years, but I never owned a home and I wanted a new home. So, and I also didn't know all the work that was going to go into a new home. But so I chose in DeLuna. I found the house I wanted. I liked the wisteria, which is the house that I have, because I love the bathroom it's an L shape. You walk in, it's called a Roman bath. There's no glass, no shower, but it's like a big open shower. I really loved that. And also it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and the 2 bedrooms are on the other side of where the master or main bedroom is, so that your guests have like a pocket door and it can be private.
Yeah.
And so that's why I chose where I did. It was almost a process of elimination because I wanted new, and that's what was going on. Yeah. But you have a different story.
Yeah, I have a completely different story because I have 2 perspectives. Because when we first moved here, we did buy an established home, a pre-existing home up in the village of Polo Ridge, and we lived there for a little over 2 years. And then we sold that house. We just sold that house and moved to a brand new house in the village of Lake Denham. So I have
the hot spot.
The hot spot. So I have like both perspectives. So when we first came, we were really attracted to the established homes. We really liked the trees, the lushness of all the landscaping.
Were you close to a town square?
We were roughly 12 or 13 minutes from either Spanish Springs or Lake Sumter. And Lake Sumter is still our favorite square, even though now we're kind of away. So it was golf cartable to everything. We could take the golf cart to Walmart, to a host of restaurants, to Starbucks, to Dunkin' Donuts, to food store, to the dentist, to the skin doctor, to
and that's half the fun of being in the villages, is being in that darn golf cart.
It is the biggest part. It's the biggest part, in my opinion. It's the biggest fun thing of living in the villages is be able to do stuff in the golf cart, just being outside, that feeling of freedom, the sunshine,
the wind in your hair.
The wind in your hair, But anyway, so it was really a nice spot. But it was an older home. We did some work on it. Are we going to talk about the bond now or later?
Later.
Yeah. We did some work on it, not a lot. We just put in granite countertop. We put in new appliances and a few other things. But that was the most. It wasn't a lot of work that we had to do. And we loved it for a long time. But
what inspired you to make the move?
Yeah, so my husband, always researching, always looking for something, to crank it up a notch if he can. Hopefully I'm safe, but anyway.
He already cranked it up a notch with you.
He did.
Yes. Okay.
He did. He had this vision that if we moved down where we live now in Lake Denham, with the development that's going on, with Eastport down the road, I mean, even though to golf cart to a food store is now 20 minutes instead of 5, to any restaurants, unless you want to go to Sawgrass Grove, to McGrady's, it's also 20 or 30 minutes instead of 5.
For now.
For now, yeah, the golf opportunities, we both play golf a lot, are way, way less down south than they are up north, but that's all for now.
Right.
So we thought that we would move there with the impending development of Eastport and also Middleton Town Squares, that it will all fill in time.
And Paul's really excited about Eastport, right?
He's very excited about Eastport. Yeah, it's going to be allegedly, have it all. Be sort of like a European downtown flair where there's going to be a lot of walking around and more like a street situation where there won't be cars. It's more pedestrian friendly, rooftop bars, golf right there.
Yeah.
The water, there's going to be that dragon boat lake that's going to be right there. It's going to be a lot in Eastport, all in one place.
That's exciting.
Yeah, we bought on
speculation. And what type of house what floor plan?
So we had a 3-2 before. We have a 3-2 now. We have bought a whippoorwill, which is the same thing as a tall pines, except it's stucco. So it's just like you just said yours is. We do have the 2 bedrooms and 1 bath on one side with a pocket door, so that when guests come, they have their own privacy, their own little sort of, we'll call it a wing, even though it's not a wing.
The West Wing?
The West Wing, yeah. So we have that as well. Very, very open.
And you're near a golf course, right?
Yeah, we are, I would say, maybe 6 minutes to Southern Oaks. And then Mickey Lee, the pitch and putt, is right, we can see it from our house.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there'll be more golf courses once Bexley Trail, the bridge is now built. And if you go over it, you can see the construction on both sides.
Where does that bridge go from? From what does it connect?
So it goes right from Sawgrass Grove, and it goes over to where Eastport's going to be and everything else. But you can go drive over it now in your car or your golf cart, and you can watch the construction. It's fascinating.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah.
Now that I have my golf cart.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's electric, and I'm always afraid I don't have enough power to go and come back because I haven't used it enough to know really what.
Once you figure out how far you can go, you'll be okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then the other question Stacey had was why or how we decided to buy a home with a bond or without a bond.
Mm-hmm.
And we can explain a little bit what a bond is, just so people, because when I bought a house, I wasn't familiar with what a bond was here, because it's not like that a lot of other places.
Right. Yeah, a bond is money that it applies in our case in the villages. It applies where it's brand new construction, and you're helping to pay back what they paid to give you your infrastructure, your roads, your the pipes that bring the water in, the electrical, the curbs, the multimodal paths, and so on down the line.
Right.
So that's helping them so that they can pay that back.
Right. And because I wanted a new home, you automatically, it comes with a bond. But if you have a previously owned, like your first home, did that have a bond?
No, that bond, that previous owner had over time paid off their bond. Okay. So we had no bond. We just had mortgage insurance.
And the bond stays with the house. So if you sell the house and it has a bond, that goes to the new owner. It doesn't travel with you.
No.
And then I think some other people have asked, had wondered, do you pay off a bond when you, like, for instance, you bought a new home, would you pay off your bond?
Yeah, I mean, that's a matter for a financial, professional to answer, so I would check with your specific financial situation, and if it's better for you to pay it off or not. In our case, it's a no. We're not going to pay it off ahead of time. But I would ask your professional on that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it may or may not. But yeah, so we just wanted to answer Stacey's request.
Yeah, it's a really good question. We think a lot of people probably have that question. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we bought where we bought. So you're becoming an average villager who moves 3 times. Do you think you'll do a third?
Oh,
Hard to say.
I don't. I don't
Okay.
know.
I don't know either. But they since the average villager moves 3 times, just
Average villager moves 3 times. I
yeah,
believe it. It's
yeah.
true. People want to downsize, or they want to upsize, or they decide they want to live in some certain different area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something to consider, especially after you've lived here for a little while. Maybe you do certain things in a certain area, or you want to use your golf cart to go everywhere, kind of thing.
Mhm.
I
Absolutely.
contemplate, like, I'd like to have a pool, but I heard it's very expensive and it's a heinous upkeep. But,
Yeah.
in my mind, I always think
Yeah.
it would be nice to have
Yeah,
one.
they're pretty to look at,
Yeah.
when you have a pool. And when I go to a friend's house and they have a pool, it's just beautiful to have that extra like element to
Right.
your entertaining or your life or your home. But I feel the same way. I don't
Right.
want the upkeep. I don't want the extra expense. We have a lot of pools here,
Maybe it's better to
so
have a friend with a pool.
yeah, definitely. In
Okay.
my
All right. I'll keep that in mind one day. So that's it for this one,
That's it.
right?
Yeah, that's it
Okay.
for this one. Please, if you like what you see, please make sure that you like and subscribe. We really appreciate, and we're really looking at increase our subscriber base. So unabashedly, please go right ahead and like and subscribe to our channel.
And if you have any questions or
Yeah,
topics you want us to cover, let us know.
yeah, definitely. Okay,
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.
See you on the Lanai.
Yeah, see you on the Lanai.